You're watching a clip from the Club podcast.
Make sure you follow it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give it a 5-star review.
So here you go. Here's a lovely clip from our podcast.
This is a clip from the Club podcast. NordVPN are giving you an unbelievable discount for their service. And on top of that, 4 months free. It's an unbelievable deal. Let's be completely real. I'm watching football Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and NordVPN give you the coverage of all the goals that you might have missed, that you might not be able to get in this country, for example, and especially if you're on holiday. NordVPN, you get to sign in multiple devices. You can log into a VPN like NordVPN and watch your beloved football club wherever they are, wherever they're playing, especially with Man City playing in the Champions League. I get to watch multiple streams. NordVPN lets me do that. It's an unbelievable service. For the price of a cup of coffee, and let's be real, with the cost of living crisis, these cups of coffees are going through the roof. NordVPN is cheaper than that. You get 6 logins, and it means that you can use your VPN service with your mates, with your significant other, and of course your family members. It means the whole family can get a unbelievable coverage with NordVPN. Make sure you check it out. The link is in the description. I like it.
Had a few comments about who do we think wins the Champions League.
Chelsea.
Wow.
Chelsea could win the Champions League.
All right, that was over then. Nice debate there. No explanation. Classic Rory.
No, we
Comes around the corner.
What do you mean? We've literally
let's
started the
Let's look at
conversation.
it from the draw and how the draw stands.
The draw is very favourable to Napoli. If you're looking
So
at the
on
draw,
one side of the draw, we've got Napoli against AC Milan and
then they
Inter Milan against
Benfica.
Benfica. So let's talk about that side of the draw
By the
first.
way, as we're speaking, Napoli 4-0 up, another 2 for Osimhen, Kimitrella 1.
Elise.
Kimichera. Kvaratskhelia.
All right. So
That's how
Napoli,
you say it.
Napoli have got a wonder.
You know.
We're going to have one of the Italian teams or Benfica in the final.
Yep.
Napoli have been tipped as a lot of people's favourites for the European Cup this year.
Yep.
They're rolling away with the Serie A, doing really well at the moment in the Champions League. From that side of the draw, how do you see that going?
The only thing I'd say, I know Napoli are favourites against AC Milan all day long, but I still think there's a world where AC Milan could maybe get a boring victory.
Heritage.
It's Napoli versus
Heritage.
Benfica. And then you're betting on Napoli in a final, in a one-off game against a Real Madrid to shock them. Against imagine Man City get there, let's just say. Napoli got nothing to lose in that final.
yeah, I think AC Milan was so dreadful. AC Milan were terrible against Tottenham. You know when I was watching that Tottenham AC Milan game?
Yeah, Tottenham should have
It
won.
was at best, I'm being really generous here, it was a Europa League tie.
Yeah.
It was that
Quality,
level of football.
shocking.
It really wasn't good.
So we're saying Napoli,
But from that
relatively
side
easy.
of the draw,
Napoli
I think we can look at it quite
Benfica
simplistic and go, Napoli are going to go through. They're amazing. But AC Milan have that.
That's what I'm trying to
that
say, yeah,
heritage
100%.
of European football.
Yeah.
They are the team that will feel like they belong more in this competition when it comes to those games. And I don't think you can disregard how, coming up against Italian teams kind of changes things for Napoli a bit.
Yeah, makes
They're
it-
just, oh, you idiot. They're just so poor, though. They are just like the thing is, I 100% agree with your football heritage point. But you also need the team. You also need the players. And I'm afraid that this AC Milan team was so abundantly average. Like Chelsea went to the San Siro and
Throw
won.
one thing into
Kept 2 clean
on that
sheets.
conversation. Zlatan's back and scored yesterday.
Yeah. I think Napoli. I think they remind me of the Klopp Dortmund side that got to the final. Someone like a Marco Reus had never been there before. Mario Götze. They're playing out their skin. They didn't know what they had. Kvaratskhelia, for me, he's playing without any rules. He's playing completely free. He's the most exciting player in Europe for me, from what I've seen. He's unbelievable. It might in 2 years' time, he might have too much responsibility. He might be at a big club. It might be too constricted. At the moment, he's playing with so much freedom. He'll rip anyone a new one. He'll rip he'd rip City tomorrow. He'd rip us.
I can't really see AC Milan giving Napoli any. I imagine my prediction on that one will be Napoli win home and away. I think Napoli will win in the San Siro and they'll win at home. I think that's how dominant.
How do you see the Inter Benfica going?
I think Benfica will go through, actually, which I hope doesn't happen because I like the idea of, look, from our perspective, Napoli playing Inter Milan, and or even if it were to go, if my prediction's wrong and AC go through, you've got an all-Milan semi.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
It's great. But I think that Napoli are going to be too strong, and I think Benfica will make it through the other two.
I think also Spalletti's coming into his own a little bit this season. He's been magnificent tactically. And I think one of the things with the Italian teams, more recently, I don't mean historically, because obviously they've been massive in Europe, but more recently, whenever they're doing well in the league, they always seem to just come up short in the Champions League. The Juventus sides, they go and get Ronaldo, still come up short. It's like, it always feels that thing, but this Napoli team does feel like the first Italian team that's kind of molded between Italian football and the new modern football that
Yeah.
everyone is playing, and
It's got a bit of the Klopp old school kind of Dortmund's vibe about it, kind of high octane. They're all playing with freedom. They don't know how good they've got it, Napoli, because eventually Kvaratskhelia will leave for a bigger club. With all due respect, I know Napoli are a huge club, and then he'll go to let's say he goes to Real Madrid. There'll be a lot of pressure on him. He won't be able to play in the same way. So they got a couple of years
one
life
of a few
cycle.
as well that have got like the league kind of sewn up.
Yeah.
Which will be important. So we're going Napoli to progressive.
Do you know the other thing though? Sorry, you know how I've said Napoli. Do you know there's one reason? Am I right? There was a load of ag. Did you see the ag when Frankfurt played Napoli? There's a chance that Napoli. I'm making this up as I go along, by the way. But there's a chance that Napoli end up playing their home game behind closed doors. Which, if they were playing AC Milan, suddenly changes it. Actually, you know, if that
Fortress,
fixture-
that place.
Yeah, it's a very intimidating place
I
to go.
hate to go there.
Yeah, I went there. We got battered when we got beat 3-1 there. The year we won it.
Yeah,
we beat them in the return leg, amazingly, Di Matteo. But I went out to, it was pouring with rain as well, which was weird, but it was
That was
incredibly
last minute
intimidating.
against them, wasn't it? Was it
No, it went to extra time. Ivanovic.
last minute? Though, yeah, in terms of it being last.
Why not, Buvey? If you want, yeah. But,
All right.
but
Just saying that you were very lucky to go through, and it was like kind of marvelous. Miraculous. You got through.
We were
in that way.
3-1 down from
Yeah.
the first leg,
Yeah,
and then we won 3-1 at home. But it was a great away day in as much as just sort of feeling the ambience of the place, and it is a difficult place to win. But if you subtract home advantage from Napoli, which is a possibility considering the level of ag,
Levels up,
like it was Frankfurt and Atalanta had mobbed up, and it was it was proper ag. With all that going on, if you subtract home advantage, so that game is either played behind closed doors or in neutral, whatever, do you still think Napoli go through?
Yeah, definitely. What I see on the pitch, it's more than just atmosphere. It's more than just being intimidating. It's what I'm seeing from the 11 lads on the pitch in the Champions League and the big Italy games. It's unbelievable. This is a generational side for Napoli. It is. It's a one in a 25-year sort of team. How they're managing. Even the transfers that left, Koulibaly's left, they've improved. Do you know what I mean? It's incredible.
So who do we think we're going to?
Too right. You ain't kidding.
But you wouldn't.
they have.
You couldn't have predicted that a year ago.
If we think Napoli are going to make it to the final from that side, then
They're very fortunate, by the way, because I wouldn't be saying that Napoli. You know, if the draw had been slightly,
they've got that side of the draw. Have got very lucky. Everyone in that Benfica goes. Oh, we got a chance.
Well, because even AC Milan now, who I think have looked terrible, even AC Milan, who were limping past Tottenham and Chelsea beat them, even they're suddenly going.
They take Napoli. They take Napoli over
the draw.
Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, even Chelsea. They take that over that.
So then we look at the other side. We've
Tough
got
side.
Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Chelsea. Which one you want to talk about first?
Let's do Man City first, though.
Do you think City are favourites in this tie?
Yeah.
Bayern have looked very, very good. They've got a very good defensive record. I like Nagelsmann. I like the transitional thing he's done there in terms of some of the younger players coming through. I think we've got. I think it's a better time to play Bayern Munich than it was with Müller in his prime. We're talking maybe even the Guardiola Bayern side that looked really, really good at home. It's a different kind of Bayern side for me. I think we can beat them. I really do think we can.
I think
beat
it'll come down to ultimately the experience between Pep and Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
Because I do think Bayern, I don't think there's much of a difference between the two teams in terms of quality.
Yeah,
You don't think
Bayern Munich have a huge bench. No, Bayern Munich's bench is. They're bringing Sane and all these fellas off at the moment, so they've got a strong bench. Cancelo, can he play against
He
City?
can play against us.
It's a custody battle. Whoever wins the tie gets Cancelo. That's what
He's had a few issues. He's been left out of starting 11s.
He's on the bench, isn't he?
He's looked a bit soppy and mopey and all that. And the issue for me is the second tie is at Bayern Munich Stadium, which is very hard.
It's less important.
No, but it's hard.
It's less important now though, because do you know?
They could come to
when I'm
the Etihad
watching
0-0.
football, do you find this when I'm watching Champions League games? My brain doesn't compute that away goals doesn't exist anymore. I can't, there's something wrong with my brain. Whenever I'm watching European football, I know it doesn't exist when we talk about it. I know that away goals have totally been scrapped. But when I'm watching a game and someone scores away from home, I'm like, worth double. Worth double.
Yeah.
I just can't remember.
I went into again, it's not Champions League, but I went into the game against Betis thinking, oh, if they get the first goal here, we've had it. You know what I mean? Because they could 3-0 and you never know. And it's
different.
like, wow, it's different.
But I still think it matters because I think Bayern Munich can come to City, play on the counter-attack, no pressure. I think City have to score at the Etihad. If we don't score...
Why no pressure?
In the sense that they can come to the Etihad, get a draw,
And then
they're
they think
favourites.
just win the home game and we're through.
All they have to do is get a 2-1 win. It doesn't count, obviously, the away goal rule, etc.
Do you fear Pep will overthink this again?
Yeah.
Definitely. You look at Nagelsmann as the young prodigy of kind of European managers in top level football, and you'll think, let's play Gundogan at left back. Do you know what I mean? Oh, great.
He is. Do you know? It's an amazing thing, isn't it? Because I rate Guardiola so highly. I think that he is, one of the best. And when you think about City playing in the league, Premier League, you go. One of the main reasons why I believe City will win the Premier League is because of Pep Guardiola. It's an amazing about turn from me. When I talk about City in a European context, I kind of go, one of the reasons why they might not win it is Guardiola. Like Guardiola.
And one of the reasons why they might win it, why they're the favourites is Guardiola, but the reason why they might not.
Well, how long ago was it? When did Guardiola last win a European Cup?
2012.
So a
United,
decade.
2011.
11, sorry, yeah.
So more than a decade, 12 years.
Well, Fergie went 14 years without, he went from 1999 to 2000, so you can go 10 years without winning. It's hard.
No, I'm not.
Sorry, but I'm just defensive.
Yeah. But also, I think you would even agree that Ferguson should have won more.
Oh, yeah, of course he won 2 in 30 years.
There you go. So Guardiola's 12-year break from European elite success is not acceptable, really, considering the teams he's been at.
He went 4 years between.
No European Cup at Bayern Munich.
Yeah, that was poor.
European Cup yet at Man City.
Yeah, no, I can't defend it.
By that logic, actually, that must mean that Lionel Messi has gone.
No, he won one with Luis
decade.
Enrique.
So he's gone. But when would that have been? 2015,
14, 15.
So he's gone 9 years without a European Cup. Messi,
Yeah.
you never would have said. 9 years ago when Messi won the European Cup, you would have never gone. He won't win another one.
Yeah.
Which he probably won't now.
One more year at Paris, maybe.
Maybe.
I think he's back at Barca, soon.
Do you think?
I think with what they do, I know we're going off topic here, they'll keep kind of bringing players in and out to kind of keep that money flow kind of looking like something's going on there. And I think Messi will end up back there.
He's not particularly popular with the Parisian fans, which I thought was
crazy.
Let's bring it back though, boys. The other tie, Real Madrid, Chelsea.
Yeah.
But hold on, who do we think's going through Man City Bayern?
City just, but it's ugly and it's horrible.
I think Bayern go through.
Yeah.
I think City just about go through, but I want Bayern to go through.
Right,
Desperately.
we'll say City go through for the sake of argument, but I don't think they will go through over Bayern Munich. The other tie, Real Madrid, Chelsea. Now, weirdly, you're confident for this. Chelsea have a supreme record against Real Madrid, a very, very good record. I think you've only lost once against them in 7.
1 in 7.
Is it?
1 in 7.
So you've got a very good record against them. You feel like Premier League form goes out of the window in the European Cup because, maybe players aren't always playing for the manager, they're playing for themselves sometimes in the cup competitions. How do you feel about this tie? Do you think you can go through?
Yeah, it's the worst draw. It's the worst draw that we could have got. There was one team that I was genuinely...
Worst side of the draw as well. If you're on
It's
that
the worst
other
side
side,
of the
you're
draw.
thinking, ooh,
It's the
another
worst side of the draw.
Yeah.
The only team that I was honestly scared of was Real Madrid. The only team that I was desperate to avoid in the European Cup was Real Madrid, and it was the first team, first two teams out of the hat. So I was gutted. But I do think that there's a world where we could beat them. I think that there's a chance that we could elevate our game because we have this fixture. We've played very well against them recently. Even though they knocked us out, we went to the Bernabeu and won. The previous year, we won the European Cup and we knocked them out along the way. So I'm being incredibly optimistic. I'm being as optimistic and positive as I can. But I think in the European Cup, Chelsea as an institution will raise its game, and Graham Potter won't be able to destabilise us the way that he can in the Premier League. And
because it's such a hard fixture, is he able to rest on the fact that you can play a back five justifiably? For example, is it a back five?
Yeah. We need to be playing wing backs. We've got two of the best wing backs in the world. We need to be playing wing backs. One of his biggest idiotic decisions ever was having Reece James and Ben Chilwell available for our game against Tottenham Hotspur away from home and playing back four.
Yeah,
ridiculous. Absolutely.
So he can sit there, say back five,
hit
on the counter,
keep it tight.
Stamford Bridge for second game.
Stamford, yeah. Look, I think that we're going to be... It's going to be very difficult, of course it is, but this is all it's about now.
But
Chelsea beating
one
Real
of the
Madrid.
things
our
that
whole
I felt
season now.
Chelsea looked good with was the back three with Koulibaly and Benoit Badiashile, but Badiashile's unavailable for Champions League, isn't he?
Ridiculous decision.
Crazy,
It's a crazy decision. So no, it won't be Badiashile.
Is that a miss?
Thiago Silva, Badiashile's been, of all of the money spent recently at Chelsea, Badiashile's the best signing. He's the arguably the one that has performed to a level that we need. But you get Thiago Silva back. Koulibaly, until his ridiculously poor moment against Everton, Koulibaly has looked quite improved lately. I don't rate him particularly highly, but he has played well of late. So look, I know that this sounds wild. I know that it sounds ridiculous.
Until Anthony, is it Ellis Sims roasted him yesterday?
Badly.
Took him for a walk.
But look, I have to.
He was on loan at Sunderland.
It's so unlikely that Chelsea win the game. But I've seen Chelsea do the most unlikely things.
And you don't have
past.
to win a game. You can draw 2. You can somehow get there. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to win one.
Chelsea have done the impossible in the past. Yeah. And this feels like another opportunity for that. It feels like we have the impossible task. We have to beat Real Madrid, then we have to beat Man City, then we have to beat Napoli. But why not? We've done it before, so let's just try and do it again.
Yeah.
Your prediction
also,
is though,
by the way, if I say that we go out, our season's over, and I don't want our season to be over, so I have to say.
Do you think Chelsea will get through Real Madrid?
No, I think Real Madrid will batter Chelsea, and I pray and dream every night that you lose 8-0 in aggregate, 10-0 in aggregate. It's 10-0 in aggregate. I hope you get knocked out, and you're never in Europe again for the next 5 years because you're so shit.
Why do you care so much?
Because you're ruining football with all the money you're spending.
Yeah. See, I think do you know where I think
it's a Real Madrid Bayern Munich.
Do you know where I think you've made a mistake? You shouldn't have asked.
Taking Buvey seriously, making a show with him.
No, you shouldn't have asked his opinion.
Yeah,
because his opinion.
Yeah, I asked yours. And you said, "I hope Bayern Munich go through." That was nice of you.
In a European,
you want the German side to go through.
But my opinion is relevant in Europe. Your opinion is irrelevant in Europe.
What? So I'm not
We're better off having Flav.
Right.
Someone phone.
So
Flav.
why are we talking about England then? We're both England fans. We're both England fans.
I want to hear from you.
We've never seen the World Cup.
No, turn his mic off. His mic is.
We've never seen the World Cup.
Turn it off.
We've never seen the World Cup win.
You're unplugged. I've unplugged him. I'm actually unplugged him. No, we don't need to hear from you today. We do not need to hear from you. We're talking about European elite. We're talking about European royalty. We are talking about the pantheon of European greats.
Anyone got a Forest fan about?
You are not welcome in this conversation. Turn your mic off.
Where's
You're not
Finton?
welcome in this conversation.
Yeah, bring Finton back. He's got a European Cup.
Get Finton on. We need European pedigree. You, my friend, are not welcome in this conversation.
I can't wait till you lose 10-0.
Mate, you have as much right in this conversation as James Alcott.
Real Madrid 5, Chelsea 1 in aggregate.
Do you think? I think it's 10-0 Real Madrid. I pray to God as well.
The question is,
Jesus.
how good do you think Real? Like, okay, look, Chelsea are dreadful.
They're really good.
But realistically, are Real Madrid as good as? Are they, they're languishing in the league.
You know when
they're languishing.
You know when it comes to the European Cup, I think it's a different story for Real Madrid. I think we can't regard them. It's like City. Amazing in the Premier League, stick them in the Champions League. They're a different team.
Yeah, but Chelsea are that. Chelsea are that in Europe.
They just put 6 past Liverpool.
Chelsea are that in Europe as well.
I think you have more chance than City of going through, if that's anything.
Because you think Bayern will make life.
Well, I hope United get smashed by Sevilla. So
we're going to turn your mic off again, mate. You have no right to talk. Yeah, of course they do. Someone phone a Seville fan and ask their opinion.
So who wins the whole thing?
Chelsea.
So what's going to wait?
Mate, if we knock Real Madrid out, we're winning.
So he thinks Chelsea.
Shit. No, it's not Chelsea.
Could it be a Chelsea City semi-final?
Yeah, if it is, I'm not doing the stream with this dickhead. It's terrible, man.
Palace have missed so many chances today, by the way. And you know what I've noticed as well? All the Arsenal players are limping. Saka's limping. He's going to be pulled out of England duty. Yeah. Arteta's done a clever one. Buvey.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
City, Bayern, who's going through?
Just City.
Bayern go through.
I say Bayern, so Bayern win. Real Madrid, Chelsea.
Real Madrid.
Chelsea.
Real Madrid. So we think, based on our votes, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich in the next round, and Napoli.
Although I think Benfica.
The Real Madrid Napoli final for me.
Benfica have more football heritage than you lot as well.
Why are you going on about that? Why? Move on.
But if we're gonna go through all the teams, we're going to be here a long time. We'll have to start talking to someone phone a Marseille fan. Anyone got a Marseille fan on the blower? We need their opinion.
Real Madrid win the Champions League.
Anyone got a Steaua Bucharest fan? Anyone know a Steaua Bucharest fan? We need their opinion. His opinion does not count. This geezer's opinion is out. I need to hear from a Steaua. I need a Steaua Bucharest fan now.
Let's not talk about England then.
I need a Steaua Bucharest fan.
Who's winning the Champions League?
World Cup?
We never had
Chelsea win the Champions League.
See, do you know what I mean? We're
Real Madrid win the Champions League again. What would that be? Their 15th?
Oh my God, it's amazing.
They beat Bayern as well because they got more experience. Bayern are young.